What is going on, everybody? My name is Jesse, aka your very own one and only Shot-Town Smart, and today we're going to talk about an extremely unfortunate diagnosis to one Mr. Good old JR. And then we're going to talk about Hulk Hogan and why he won't shut up. But before we do, do me a favor, guys. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. That is important as we are still pushing towards 10,000 subs. I would love to have you on board. Leave a comment. Share with a friend. Please do. And let's get into today's stories. I don't want to take up a whole bunch of your time, but there's a couple of things that I do want to cover with you guys. Legendary wrestling commentator, good old JR, has been diagnosed with colon cancer. The news was revealed this afternoon through his official Twitter account, with the post stating that he was diagnosed sometime this week and should be undergoing surgery within the next 2 weeks. Ross also thanked his fans for their support in this difficult time. This isn't the first time Ross has battled cancer, if you don't remember. The former WWE broadcaster was first diagnosed with skin cancer in 2021. Ross soon announced that he underwent successful treatment, but he continued to deal with the effects from his surgery for several years. Throughout that time, Ross continued to make occasional appearances in AEW programming, often pulling part-time duty on the company's pay-per-view events. Most recently, Ross appeared at AEW Dynasty in April. JR has been with AEW since his first show in 2019. Prior to that, the commentator already had a long and storied career, beginning as a referee in the mid-1970s before assuming a broadcast role. About a decade into his career, Ross gained prominence as one of the lead commentators for Jim Crockett Productions, which soon became known as World Championship Wrestling. In 1993, Ross made the move over to Vince McMahon's World Wrestling Federation, where he would spend the next 20 years. His voice became synonymous with the company during that time, though he had a sometimes contentious relationship with Vince McMahon. Ross left the WWE in 2013 and spent several years doing English commentary for New Japan Pro Wrestling. He then had another part-time stint with WWE before eventually joining AEW. This is terrible news. This is terrible news. JR has been through it. JR has endured quite a bit of unfortunate circumstances throughout his life. I mean, it's amazing that the guy is still here. He's still fighting. He is loved by everyone in the wrestling community. He lost his wife. He lost his wife Jan to a car accident back in, I want to say, 2018, somewhere around there. She was riding on a Vespa, and a 17-year-old kid accidentally hit her, and she died 2 days later. It was extremely tragic. I mean, it felt like JR had given up all hope, and I'm not gonna lie, it's extremely understandable. His wife was the one thing that it felt like that was keeping him going. Everyone knew how much he loved his wife. She was taken from him very prematurely. Also turns out that 17-year-old kid faced no charges in that accident. He didn't even lose his driver's license. That was an absolute terrible situation. And I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. That has to be the worst feeling ever. Basically, a judge saying that what this kid did was okay, even though your wife is no longer here. I don't know the full story as to why the judge completely threw out the case on this kid. But at the end of the day, it's not going to bring Jan back. It's not going to bring Jan back. It's a 17-year-old kid who did not do it on purpose. Do you prosecute this kid to the fullest extent of the law and potentially ruin another life before it even really gets started? Or do you set an example and throw the book at this kid and completely change the course of his entire existence? I don't know. I don't know the circumstances around the accident. Was it just an accident? I don't know if there was any kind of substances involved that led to the accident. I don't know. That could factor in. Maybe there were none. Were there conditions? I don't know the full extent of everything. All I know is that for JR to have to lose his wife and then the person responsible for taking her from him suffers no consequences at all. That has got to be the absolute most demoralizing thing one can think of. His wife meant everything to him. She was his world. She's gone and she can't be brought back. You get that feeling of there's no justice. The guy went through skin cancer. He's still dealing with the pain from that. Now he has colon cancer. I'm assuming that he's going to be in an ostomy bag for the rest of his life. I don't know. Jim Ross is still hanging in there. Jim Ross is to me, he feels like just the grandfather of pro wrestling right now. No matter if you are a fan of WWE, a fan of AEW, or just a normal person, a fan of pro wrestling, your heart has to go out to good old JR. He's one of the most respected men in this industry ever, all time. My thoughts and prayers go out to JR. I wish him a full recovery and a very successful procedure for this diagnosis. Hulk Hogan. We go from the most respected man in this industry to Hulk Hogan. Compares him being booed in LA to jeers for WWE's John Cena and The Rock. Hogan is such a piece of... So he's trying to roll heel kayfabe into the reason why the majority of wrestling fans hate his guts. He's trying to play it off and kayfabe it. Oh, they boo Cena, they boo The Rock, and they boo Hogan too. Cena and The Rock do not have the same negative stigma as Hulk Hogan. In professional wrestling, it's all part of the territory. One opponent gets cheered, the other gets booed. A reaction is a reaction, and that's what any wrestler strives to achieve. For someone like Hulk Hogan, who was the poster star of the industry, interweaving the art of squared circle with pop culture in the 1980s, he was untouchable and emulated. However, times have changed. Those who worship the ground and the words he charted back then have seen many sides of their former hero that for some do not resonate with their beliefs today. When WWE Raw made history by switching their longtime flagship show from cable to Netflix, many weren't too keen to see Hogan at the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles. With a thunderous boos that shook the entire stadium, Hogan went from the man of the moment to a fallen idol. In his interview with Ariel Helwani, Hogan reflected on the reaction in January and whether it has affected his attitude towards the fans and the industry today. Quote, "Well, you know, they're still nipping at my heels, brother. I can go out there and get booed in LA, or The Rock can get booed in LA, or John Cena can get booed in LA. You know, same thing, right? Ha ha ha. But when I get booed, there's a whole different reaction media-wise," Hogan says. For some reason, for some reason, just for some reason, I've laid some type of groundwork that people are still interested in what I'm doing. And so for those that are on the team and are riding with the train to the train station, that's great. For those that are haters and still have a problem with me, there's nothing I can do to fix that except just keep proving my actions that I'm still in the game. I'm still pushing hard. End quote. This guy's a piece of crap, man. This guy's a piece of crap. And remaining true to his word, he is still in the game, but more so behind the scenes as a commissioner, as he and friend and former boss Eric Bischoff are launching a league called Real American Freestyle Wrestling. This guy he doesn't get it, does he? He truly doesn't get it. Which will spotlight collegiate, amateur, and Olympic wrestlers to continue their wrestling paths without the pressure to change their styles to fit professional wrestling or MMA styles. The league's first show will be held August 30th in Cleveland, Ohio. This is going to be one of the biggest fails in wrestling history. I say one of the biggest because there have been plenty. There have been plenty of fails. This will just be another one. Eric Bischoff is a businessman. Eric Bischoff knows the controversy behind Hogan. He's aware of it. It does not escape him. He's aware of it. He is going to try to turn it into cash. One of his most famous mottos: controversy equals cash. I don't think it's going to work. Hogan and his stigma as being labeled an absolute racist prick is not going to translate into cash for Eric Bischoff. This is going to be a horrible venture. I personally won't be watching it. If you guys want to watch it, enjoy. Don't let anybody tell you that you shouldn't be watching it because for whatever reason. If it's something that you want to watch, please enjoy. I won't be watching it. I won't be covering it. I have zero interest in it. I have no interest in anything that Hogan does for obvious reasons. And more power to them. I just don't like how Hogan walks around and tries to A, pretend that this is all just kayfabe, heel heat, or B, play the victim in this like he has no idea. This guy has no idea why people are booing him. He's that oblivious. He is that tone deaf. He has no idea. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I believe he's playing a role, man. He knows exactly why the fans have rejected him. He has people around him. He has friends. He has family. He has friends in the industry. And it's not just fans. There are wrestlers. There are talent. There are people in the business who have distanced themselves from Hogan and his beliefs and his comments. Everyone has that right. Everyone has their right. Don't let anybody tell you that you're supposed to believe or think one thing or the other, whether you are pro or against him. That is on you. That is on you. I am not one to go around and try to shame people for enjoying their pro wrestling. You want to enjoy it? Go ahead. It's not for me. I am not sports entertained by it, nor do I care what Hulk Hogan does with his spare time and with his money. I salute you. Guys, that is it for today's show. I thank you guys so much for joining me. There is more content to come. I got a project coming up with JD very soon. You guys are going to enjoy that one. In the meantime, like I asked earlier, please hit that thumbs up button. Please leave a comment and absolutely subscribe to stay up to date with the content that I will be pumping out extremely soon. My name is Jesse, a.k.a. your very own one and only Chi-Town Smart, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.